To Hungary now, where thousands have poured out into the streets of Budapest in support of the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. That's as the country prepares for parliamentary elections on April 12th. Locals were seen waving Hungarian flags and carrying banners calling out Vladimir Zelensky. That's after Viktor Orbán accused Kiev of openly trying to interfere amid the upcoming general election. Meanwhile, Ukraine is unhappy with Budapest's opposition to Kiev's long-sought-after accession to the EU. RT contributor Rachel Marsden breaks down the feud.
Well, it's a month out from national elections in Hungary, and both candidates called for their fans to show support at the exact same time and place on Sunday, effectively making it really easy for them to both claim the fans of the other guy. So both are now trying to co-opt this rally, as some participant groups are as well, who are also there for their own reasons and are trying to say that the estimated hundreds of thousands of people were there for them and whatever cause that they were there to promote. And this is really just the beginning of all the smoke and mirrors heading into this last month of campaigning in the Hungarian race, pitting incumbent Prime Minister Viktor Orbán against his challenger, fellow lawyer Peter Magyar, a former insider of Orbán's Fidesz party, who broke it off in 2024. The big issue in this election is the economy and cost of living, pretty much like everywhere else here in Europe these days. Yesterday, Orbán positioned himself as the only guy standing in the way of the country turning into basically a giant gay pride parade.
We will protect our children, and we will not let the colours of our national flag to be changed to Ukrainian or rainbow colours. You see Ukrainians? You see Zelensky? This is the 1,000-year-old state of the Hungarians. And you think you can scare us with oil blockages, blackmail, threats to our leaders? Be smart and stop doing this. Anyone who wants to crush the Hungarians has to get up earlier, a few hundred years earlier.
Boy, are Hungarians going to be shocked when they go to look for Zelensky on the ballot, especially when Team Orbán's even putting campaign posters up with Zelensky on them, like that's his running mate or something.
If you look at Zelensky and his people, they really want us to support them financially, with weapons and with everything. But we don't want that, and we don't want to get involved in their war.
I have 3 sons, and I don't want them to go to war. We travel abroad regularly, so I see the migrant situation firsthand. I don't want to be in a position where I can't let my 15-year-old daughter go out on the street because I have to fear migrants, and only the current government can ensure the survival of God, homeland, and family.
Right now, the big issue is that Hungary's oil supply from Russia is shut off, which means even more bad news for that cost of living crisis and the economy. Both candidates are in favor of getting that going again, but it runs through Ukraine, and Zelensky is playing games with it, saying that it's war damage, but also that, hey, even if it wasn't, he really wouldn't want to open it anyway. Of course, Orbán has been riffing on that whole fiasco.
President Zelensky continues to keep the oil pipeline closed, even though he knows it is vital for Hungary and Slovakia. Our experts have been in Kiev for days, but they are still not allowed access to the oil pipeline. This amounts to an admission that the world and Europe cannot overcome the oil crisis without the help of cheap Russian oil. Hungary will not be a Ukrainian colony. Zelensky will not give orders here.
A public show has been playing out over this Druzhba pipeline, with Zelensky and Orbán telling each other off on social media and also on TV and video. Orbán saying he won't approve any more Ukraine-related funding until the oil starts flowing again. Zelensky saying Ukrainian troops just might want to have a word with him in person, which then led to some 75-year-old former Ukrainian services guy, widely known for clinging to any opportunity to promote himself, to then start beaking off in public about the recent U.S.-Israeli assassination of Ayatollah Khamenei in Iran. And, oh yeah, speaking of which, he says Orbán should think of his grandkids. Meanwhile, Orbán's foreign affairs minister said that a Hungarian delegation made its way into Ukraine to address the Druzhba issue, but that the goal wasn't to actually get a meeting with the Ukrainian officials who could unblock things and who ultimately refused to engage with them. More evidence that, yet again, nothing that we're watching here can really be taken strictly at face value.
The visit of the Hungarian delegation to Kiev has achieved its goal, as the Ukrainian system operator company was forced to speak out, which was held for the ambassadors, is another embarrassment for the Ukrainians. It is further proof that the Ukrainians are keeping the Druzhba oil pipeline shut solely for political reasons, solely with the intention of interfering in the Hungarian elections. It was once again proven that this is an oil blockade against Hungary. It is obvious that the Ukrainians are coordinating continuously with Brussels. Their goal is to assist the Tisza party during the election campaign. We firmly call on President Zelensky and the Ukrainians to stop interfering in the Hungarian election campaign.
The other country that's impacted by this Druzhba shutoff is equally landlocked Slovakia, and its prime minister sounds rather annoyed with Brussels' routine of tossing out faint pleas for little Zelia, that's Vladimir Zelensky, to behave and to turn on the tap while at the same time pretending that it's busy doing more important things in the next room while everyone else fights it out.
I do not feel sufficient pressure is being placed on President Zelensky. How can it be that in a situation where President Zelensky needs the European Union and its institutions desperately, after all, he is constantly asking for money and demanding a European perspective? The European Commission cannot push through an inspection team mission to find out if the Druzhba pipeline was damaged and what needs to be done to get it up and running. For that, there is a simple sentence in the diplomatic dictionary. Dear Vladimir, you want European money, so meet us halfway. I am afraid that none of the decisive players in the European Union will ever say this sentence to President Zelensky.
So with 1 month left to go in the Hungarian campaign, if this is just the warm-up act, buckle up, because the full show is already looking less like an election and a lot more like a wild season of reality TV.